Doing detective work means you gotta walk the walk. No, I mean literally. I need to search high and low for evidence.
よし、やりましょうか。
There's something in the air. Something that tells me a new case is brewing.
ちょっと待って。私合ってるよな。44だよ。244で合ってる。違う、245だ。昨日が244じゃん。マジでテーペロ。買います。245でした。もうそんなにやってんだね。あと100日くらいで1年やってることになるんだ。割と長続きしてんな。いや、絶対こんな続かないと思ったんだけどな。誰だよ、ここまではめたよ。あの男のせいだよ、絶対。よし、やっていきまーす。とりあえず、10消費だね。10子消費をします。あ、ていうか、ガチャ切り替わっちゃった、もしかして。やっちゃったな。クレイちゃん、あと9回引いておこうって思ったんだけど。あれ This is getting so stressful. What's wrong? Oh, my apologize. When did you get here? The monster presence in this area is steadily growing, and also my husband insists they wouldn't dare set foot in the inn. なんだお前後ろに立ってHe's only one sufficiently prepared to fight back if they ever did. And that concerns me a little. If you can spare time, could you secure the surrounding area for me? Okay. You have my gratitude. I am grateful for your help. You will be ハベキュエイトリーわかんない。コンペンセイティッド。いずこ。こっちか。そっちか。
パテヤニン、セアングマネーさん、ゴーッド、モアニング。
グッドイブニング。よかったらゆったりしてってください。
パテヤニン、セアングマネーさん、ソッピー、ゴーッド、エベニング。
グッドイブニング。
Time to go.
おー、宝箱も見えてしまった。何ここに来て何すんの？ほら、なんか現れた。One with nature。終わった。
Time to go.
ショーのやつってどこなん？ショーが出てくるデイリー。Is it done? Yes. Wonderful. I think we can all afford to relax now. As promised, compensation for your trouble.
Time to go.
水辺だった気がすんだよな。水辺っていうか、なんか孤立しているああいうとことかこういうとことかああいうとことかだった気がするけどな。来るか？ Into the wind. Let's dance. まだいたの？なあ、取れてない。わからんね。わからないもんはしょうがない。One with nature. Confess. Bring it on. そこにも宝箱ある。多すぎよ。Into the wind.
What's the hurry?
そこ取ってなかったのか。こんなかよな。やったー。千来さん。これか。ダンダンダラダダラダンダンダラダンダダンダン。Bring it on. No. One with nature. It went. Yeah. 危ない危ない。よいしょ。あ、いらなかったな。はいはいはいはい。サボった最後。あ、で、なんだっけ、どこだっけ、ここか。遠いな。あれ行きたいな。あいつのところまだ行けてないんだよね。
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
よいしょ。こや。あー、遠すぎた。Come on, we can do it. いた。いってー。For the lift and down my night.終了。あ、やべ、ここ解放してない。バレた。解放していないことがバレたぞ。音だいっぱい。君ら素材欲しいから。やったいっぱい。あとは下だな、これ。アンダーグラウンド。ここ。 こ 強盗団倒さなきゃな。
See?
あら、なんかあるな。バゲラーン。やべえ、エンヒちゃん入れてないんだよな今。やべえ。天使ちゃん。でさんこんばんは。なんだ、トーマだな。待て。
Let's appraise the value on this.
Ready when you are.
どうしよう。妖怪で遊ぶのもありなんだよな。
I guess the housework can wait.
カフカで遊ぶかだな。妖怪で遊ぶか。
I'm looking for.
なんでどこ？
ジェルさん、良い宮引きます？
良い宮引きません。星4が微妙なので。クレイちゃん引き忘れたって思ったのはありますけどね。てれてってってんか。お前らやったか。軍舎軍舎。Took you for spine.
When I first joined the Tenryo Commission, I started honing my craft by reviewing some cold cases. Before I knew it, Mount Cold Case had been completely leveled. It is a pity. These days, I no longer have the time to go back and look through old files. I'm forever being brought in to help out on the toughest cases, and I barely have a moment to catch my breath in between jobs. Well, what can you do?
あ、やべ。
Once you're a detective of this caliber, the cases come to you.
長くね？
One with nature. Don't get too close. Ooh, what's in here?
終わったかな？デイリー。さて、じゃあちょっとタルタル行くか。 あれ40からもらえなかったっけ？ 40 じゃまだ早いか。あれ？タル。あ、そうだよね。40で一応もらえるんだよね。数入るから先生のやんなきゃな。2の方やんなきゃいけないんだよね。さすがに一人で行く自信はない。
ジェルさん、添付全くあげなくても最低限の仕事はしてくれるカズハ最高。
確かに。最低限はする。でも最低限でしかないんですよ。
Wherever in this world I roam, I
カズ
carry
ハを描きた
memories
い。
of my
はよ。
home. This blade. It is the last link I have to the land of my birth.
何をしようとしたかというと、こうしようとした。やべ。いけるかな？え？マルチいけるよね。ああ。ーっと、任せて。あ、でも回復がいない。まあ、いいか。回復いなくてもいけるでしょ。
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle.
待って。
ジェルさん、タルタルかいけるいける。
いや、体力があかん。
How unbecoming. Not bad, not
Not
bad.
bad, not bad. あ、やばい。死ぬ。あ、やべ、やっちゃった。Sorry。これ死ぬわ、多分。こっちで頑張るしかない。なんということでしょう。No。痛い。指さすな。 あ、これ死ぬわ。あ、やべ無理やった。回復をしてこなかったっていうのが敗因なんだが、本当に。諦めて。さすがにカズハだけじゃ勝てないで、ここ。頑張れ。え、何その拡散。あいや、これ何？アバンダンチャレンジって。リトライ？リトライってさ、全回復はしないよね。
You missed a spot. So quick to flee. You're wide open.
あ、お兄様死んじゃう。どこに行ったタルタル？あそこか。あ、やべ。料理がないことに気づいてしまったよ。これでいける。オッケー。任せて。任せてくれ。やべ。お兄様。全然たまらん。痛い痛い。お兄様復活できないんだが。あ、いった。まずいまずい。それはまずいって。危ない危ない。 いやー、危ない危ない。終わったんじゃない？ああ、危ない危ない。スマホでやるべきじゃないな、これ。あ、1個だけ。ゲット。あ、そこそこいいんじゃない？楽団。オッケーオッケー。回復しなきゃ。まずい。これはまずい。あ、こっち。ここにも行きたいんだよね。ワンワンオン。トワリンは自分で頑張るしかないからな。と。iPhone やりづらい。誤操作が多い。
おきさん、ハッロ。
あきさん、ハロー。今、集会中です。集会？演出者に頑張ってもらうしかないな。
This scenery is
いったー、演出ちゃんやばい。なんでダッシュしたよ今。おこなんだが。カズハだけじゃ勝てないんですよ。知っておるか？カズハ持ってきたのがバカやったかな。よいしょ。ちょっと待ってな。 こういう時はこうだな。任せてくれ。なんで当たるん？当たり判定わからん。The end. まだかのはいはいはい。いた。痛いんだが。どこここ。よいしょ。やばい、今日時間出してない。ちょっと待ってなー。出すから。よいしょ。尻尾。防御はいらんよ。あとどこ行かなきゃいけないかというと、どこだ？本行ってもいいしなあ。でもマグーちゃんか？今マグーちゃんいくつ持ってたっけ？でも13あんのか。じゃあ地下かな。でも11あるんだ。11あるけど1回行っとくか。地下は別にね、お兄様ぶっ放しておけばどうにかなるでしょって。でもあれか。お兄様今体力ないな、確か。 食べ物がないんだよな、全然。これでいいかな。よし、行ってくるぞ。石があるやないか。
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
お腹すいた。さっき一応食べはしたんですけど、それでもな、お腹すくな。いいね、3つ出る。素晴らしい。面倒だからここだけでいっか。そういえば私、カズハにスポンサーシあげたんだっけ？作ってあげたっけこっち。怪しいな、ちょっと。
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them.
ス
If
ポ
you
ン
wish
サ
to
ー
hear.
シってさ、どこだっけ？そういえば。どこの素材だっけ？作った気がするんだけどな。作ってるよね。あー、そもそもこれが足りないのか。7個も作れないのか、そもそも。緑だ。緑って作れたっけ？作れないよね、緑って。知らない。それを借りに行くしかないのか。どこにいんの？あの子らって。どこにいたっけなぁ。
This scenery is wonderful. Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
ね、ミスってなんかないですよ。やだなぁ。
Into the wind.
そうだよね、その辺にいるよね。オッケー。 先生はちょっとな。シュパシュパさせて。
Doing detective work means you gotta walk the walk. No, I mean literally. I need to search high and low for evidence.
ちっちゃいのしかいないな。ここで5個か。もう一箇所行かないとな。どこにいる？どこにいるかわからないんだよな。この辺いる？うーん。探すといないんだよな。あとどこがある？どこにいそう？この辺いるかな？それはまた今度へ。どこにいるんだ？あ、いた！いたぞ！あの子だ。あの子が欲しい。てか、どっかのワープポイントのところにいなかったっけ？そういえば。行ってくるぜ。ついでに宝箱。いた。OK じゃない？これでさすがに足りるでしょう。よいみや。
Oh, it's all coming out now.
と、で、これを上げて、 なんてこった。3個も足りない。あとどこ？こことかはいなかったっけ？あ、いるいるいる。いるぞ。行くぞー。足りるか？足りないよな、多分。あと1個。思い当たる場所、どこ？あったよか。あれでやればいいんじゃん。これで。enemies。ビシャープ。
花火さん、これ、端末日とかでやってみえるんですかい？
これ、端末2つですね。今、JP 赤を、あれ、iPhone で出してます。操作してます。ダダダダダダ遠すぎる。それは遠すぎるからパス。
花火さん、大変そう。
大変そう。大変です。正直言うと大変。iPad で英語の方をやりたいんですけどね。できれば。いたいた。ていていていていや。なんてこった。よしよしよし。さて、連れてくるか、ここまで。
花火さん、育成のための苦労ですね。
そうですね、本当に。これは大変じゃない。大変すぎる。普通に走ってこれたっていうね。遊ぶぞー。結構サンタいたんだ、ここ。初めて知った。ちなみにこれは開けれるかい？開けれない。いいね。だいぶ集まった。
A fateful offering.
花火さん、移動が2度でまでめんどくさそう。
ほんとそれ。めちゃくちゃめんどくさいですよ。
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
で、とりあえず、わ。トリクラーも嘘やん。ちょっとそれはな。待って、32もある。あれあれ反応してない。マジ反応しなきゃ。あ、奉納できない、今。マルチだった。なんてこった。逆だ。あら、宝刀団の兄ちゃんたちいるな。それは欲しいな。いや、宝刀団は本当に使うんですよね。ここめっちゃいるじゃん、宝刀団。じゃあちょっと。宝刀団の兄ちゃんたちなら、シュパシュパやって終わりでしょ。
花火さん、1円000。移動がめんどくなって少し休むかなって時の飲み物代。
ありがとうございます。飲み物代高くないですか？お酒飲めちゃう。ありがとうございます。飲み物買いに行かなきゃ。シュパシュパ。シュパシュパ OK です。
花火さんならお酒の足しにしてください。
お酒何買おうかなって。うわー、知ってるこれ。痛い痛い。パシパシパシパシパシパシパシパシパシ。はい、パシパシパシ。
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
パシュパシュパシュパシュパシュパシュ。はい、OK です。やっぱお兄様なんだよな。お兄様強い。素晴らしい。んでどこだっけ？あ、待って、宝刀団がいる。兄ちゃんたち遊ばない？火種が欲しい。火種をくれ。火種ここに。よし。アクション。武器買い忘れてたな。自分の火種にやられるとはな。あ、いたいた。あの子を倒しに行くぞ。あれどこだ？気づいてくれた向こうが。これ確かに来たことある気がするな。OK です。 に行こうとした。いいね。てか作ればあるんじゃない？ダメかな。と、骨どこ？あった。あ、いけた。多分。あー、待って。そうだといくら。8個も作れないだろう。多分。あ、作れた。全然作れました。そんなに倒してたっけこっちで。こっちは酒に避けまくってた気がするけどな。はあ、だいぶ使うな。作ればある。無理だ。無理だ。とりあえずここまで強くすれば、前よりは確実に強いでしょ。オッケー。
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.
少なくない？なんでそんな少ないの？5個しか作れない。嘘。全然あげれないじゃん。とりあえずこれをあげておこう。捧げたい。捧げよう。宝刀弾もっと遊ぼうよ。なんでそんな少ないの？おかしいじゃん。構想だ。今日構想か。これ行きたいんだよな、向こうの。でもだもんな。とりあえず一発ここ行くか。マグちゃん。
Taking a stroll in the middle of a downpour certainly rouses the spirit.
間違えた。こ
But
っ
it's
ち
best
だ。
to dry your clothes as soon as possible after the rain stops.
あっ
Never again.
かかった。なんで引っかかんないでしょ、今のは。任せて。 iPhone でやるの不安しかないけど。
Doing detective work means you gotta walk the walk. No, I mean literally. I need to search high and low for evidence.
OK です。 2個だけか。あ、金だったらとてもよかったんだけどな。まだ金は出ないか。
花火さん、初期の頃iPadにコントローラー対応しとらんくってめちゃくちゃ苦労した。今はコントローラーでだいぶ快適やからありがたい。
コントローラーでやるか、私も。そっか。Bluetooth 使えるんだったら使えるよみたいな聞いたな、確かに。この辺がアンロックされてないってそんなことあるんだ。45になんないとできなかったんだ。知らなかった。よし、とりあえず英語の方はこれでいいかな。間違えましたね。押す場所間違えた。
花火さん、最初は操作になれんかったけど、慣れると楽。ただ、弓の操作はどの道やりにくい。
確かに。私もたまに、実家に帰った時とかは、プレホでやってるので、あれは慣れないと大変ですね。そして日本語に変え忘れたっていう。9時までにはお絵描き始めたいな。こっちでやってないことってなんだ？デイリーはやったはず。やってたはず。今、しのぶちゃんいくつやっけ？ああ、全然足りないのか。それいくか。添付本も行きたいところだけど、今日じゃなくてもいいでしょう。やべ。日本語に変え忘れてた。language 日本語。あれもやんなきゃね。旦那のイベント。なんか、旦那に話を聞きに行こうぜって、大門先生が言ってた。やべ。元気ちゃんいないやん。やべ。慰の凛。やべえ、ギリギリ当たっちゃってた。
律令来光意図美しきかな。ちょっぴさんと
あ、やべ。
松じゃ。
すいません、八重様。
使いたってな。急ごう。ボーンこのいやくらえ。ははほれ。
これやらなきゃよかった。やめてー、痛い。
燃えよ。そこだ。
風の行く先を。
よっ。はいマジよ。
ほれ。
ボーンほれ。さあ落差のリング。
風を知れ。
はっ燃えよ。そこだ。はあくらえ。
もみちが散らまく惜しみ。風の行く先を。
このパーティーあかんかった。3個。あと3個欲しい。地上に行こう。こっちは別にな、素材困ってないんだよな。その辺にいる子たちは。
それ。
どうしようかね。あっ、取ってないのがあった。ありがたやー。旦那んとこ行くか。9時には始められるか微妙だな。しょうがない。話を聞くだけは聞いてやろう。さすがのね。じゃあよろしく。お使いは後で。旦那が先だ。
行こう。いざ。
あーてりーん。
お二方ともやっとお戻りになられたのですね。
やっとお戻りになりました。
まさかこんなに時間がかかることだとは思いませんでした。本当にお疲れ様です。
いいえ。
いやいや、オイラたちがディルックの旦那に協力するって言ったんだから。そういえばディルック。
申し訳ありません。旦那様のスケジュールについて私も正確に把握していないのです。
アデリンでも正確に把握してきてないんだ。
エンジェルズシェアに現れたと聞きました。これはもういつものことですが、旦那様は面倒事を片付けた後、その後処理まできちんとされます。ですので、もうじき帰ってくる頃かと。お二方も焦らず、ワイナリーでしばしお休みください。
ありがとう。
結局ディルックのじゃあワイナリーで待ってようぜ。そういえばアデリンって普段もしかしてディルック。
お気遣いありがとうございます。ただ、私には頼まれた仕事があるんです。ここで特別なお客様を迎えるようにと旦那様より仰せつかっておりまして、もし
我らか。
一部の特別なお客様がいらっしゃった場合、忠告してお引き取りいただくんです。今は状況が特殊なので別の問題が起こらないように、そのお客様たちをバイナリーから遠ざけてほしいと旦那様はおっしゃっていました。
アデリンの言ってる。
お二方のご理解とご協力に感謝いたします。ですが旦那様のために随分と駆け回ってくれたのです。ここは私にお任せください。
頼もしいな、アデリン。
もしよろしければこの手紙を屋敷の中に持って行ってはくれませんか。ドアの右側に机がありますので、 そこに置いてほしいのです。その机には手紙が整理して置いてあります。これをその一番外側に置いてください。
一番外側ね。
ディルックの旦那宛ての手紙か？
はい。これは旦那様の情報提供者からの手紙です。そのため処理と保管は旦那様の腹心にしか任せられません。
だったらディルック。
ええ。お二方は旦那様の大切なご友人ですから。ではこの手紙をお願いいたします。
死んだって。
ワイナリーでゆっくり休んでください。手紙のこともよろしくお願いいたします。
でいいえな。え、どこにだって？あ、これか。手紙も整理する。
どうやらディルックの旦那は出かける前に手紙を読んで届いた日を推測するしかなさそうだ。確かにそうだな。
来ていたのか。行動が早いな。
うわあ、急に現れるだよ。
どうしてそんなに慌てているんだ。
さっきアデリにこの手紙を置いてきてくれって頼まれたんだけど、正しい順番が全然わからん。それにこれって。
そう萎縮する必要はない。それに君たちのその表情、かなり興味を持っているようだが、
でも
手紙に書いてあるのはどれも昔のことだ。情報を残すためにこれらは保管していたんだ。ここ最近はいささか特殊な状況にある。改めて詳細を確認するためこれら手紙を読み返していたんだ。この件には君たちも関わっている。もし情報が知りたいのなら読んでくれて構わない。好奇心を抱くのは何も悪いことじゃないからね。うん。
そういえば
なかなか鋭い。
なかなかする。
確かに暴風山地に行っていた。詳しいことは後で話そう。
後でまたお話できるの？マジで？
オイラたちまだ大事なことを言ってないぞ。それにディルックの旦那にとりあえず手紙の整理された。
読もうか。うわー、いっぱいある。軽やかな筆跡の手紙。ラグビー抜けの貴公子へ。突然の手紙失礼するね。あなたは私のことをもう覚えていないかもしれない。待って。ゆっくり読ませて。時には広場の近くで、時には鹿狩りの隣のテーブルで、時にはあなたの酒場でね。あなたはいつもいろんなことに追われていて、忙しそうにしていた。それに、以前のあなたは、今よりも口数が多くて、よく仲間たちと楽しそうに話していた。当時のあなたが私に気がつかなかったのはしょうがないけど、私はあなたのことをずっと覚えていたのよ。ええ、よく覚えているわ。うちのクレイがあなたのブドウ畑で、小鳥でいいんだっけを捕まえて、きれいに並んでいたブドウ棚をめちゃくちゃにしちゃったことをね。アリスさんじゃん。でもあなたは全く怒ることなく、クレイを送り届けてくれた。その上、絞りたてのブドウジュースまでいくつかプレゼントしてくれたでしょ。これで私が誰なのか少しは想像できたかな。最近クレイの手紙に、あの赤い髪をした変な大人に最近会ってないんだって書いてあったの。つい気になって思わず他の人に話を聞いてみたんだけど、大変だったわね。あなたの父上のこと、お悔やみ申し上げるわ。聞いた話では、あなたはいつも完璧で、 気品にあふれ、気鋭の名門の騎士だと誰もが言っていた。けど、あなたは見かけよりも優しいって私は知ってる。そうでないと、あんな風にクレイと接してくれないもの。うちの子の面倒を見てくれたから、私もあなたを自分の子供のように可愛がってあげたいの。だから、あなたが早く暗闇から抜け出して、悲しみや後悔に明け暮れることがないように、心から願ってる。別れはとても辛いけど、人を成長させてくれるものよ。雨宿りできる軒下を失った鳥は、他の鳥よりももっと高く、遠くへ飛ぶことができる。外に出てみるのはどうかしら。今は旅をするのが一番いい選択だと思うの。今のあなたには、感じて、見て、耳を傾けることが必要。そうすることで、あなたの心は癒されていく。親は誰しも、いつまでも子供のそばにいてあげたいと思ってる。空、海、そして星々は、その誓いを見届けるはずよ。あなたの父上のすべては、あなたの中に受け継がれた。あなたがこの世界で感じていることは、あなたの父上が感じていたことかもしれない。あなたが風の中で、素敵な出来事に巡り会えることを願っているわ。気をしっかりね。私の小さなお友達さん。アリスさんいいなぁ。爽やかな筆跡の手紙。てか、意外と長いんだよね。旦那様へ。ガイア様が休暇を取って、暁ワイナリーに数日泊まっていきました。本当に珍しいことがあったものです。ガイア様は昔の自室で過ごされていました。暇な時は周りを、散歩し、食事はアデリンに好きなものを作ってもらっていました。まるで昔のように懐かしいです。長いね。正直に言うと、ガイア様が数日泊まりたいと言ってきた時は大変驚きました。ですが、私たちは断りませんでした。もし旦那様がその場にいたら、はっきりと断りはしないだろうと思ったからです。あれやな、エルダーさんっぽいな。暁ワイナリーは静かな場所です。それは、ここに住んでいる人たちが皆、穏やかな方々だからでしょう。家の雰囲気は、中に住んでいる人によって変わります。ガイア様の来訪で、ここは少し賑やかになりました。旅に出た旦那様が元気でいらっしゃることを心より願っています。ワイナリーのみんなは、旦那様に再び会える日を楽しみにしております。どうかご無事で、お体にお気をつけください。
まだ読むのか？もう整理できそうな気はするけど。
もう一つ。全部は読めないのこれもしかして。全部読もうよ。せっかくだから。これなんて読むの？聖なんちゃら。聖地。わからん。リルクさんへ。君と地脈について議論することができてとても嬉しく思う。ただ、僕の研究は主に錬金術に関するものであるべどか。地脈については詳しくないんだ。だから、僕なりの解釈を簡単に述べることしかできない。既存の様々な文献によると、地脈は情報を保存する媒体のようなもので、特定の状況になると、周りの物事を記録し始めるようだ。すべての情報は記録と積み重ねの過程を経る。そして一定の時間が経過すると、これらの情報が地脈から放出されることがあるんだ。これはあくまで僕の大胆な憶測に過ぎないが、地脈の動きを刺激する方法が存在するはずだ。それが分かれば、情報の記録と放出のタイミングをコントロールできるかもしれない。不問でいいのかな。不問とその他の情報から考えるに、一部の特殊なアービス教団のメンバーなら、そのようなことができるだろう。ただ、 それをする確率は極めて低い。より深く調べるつもりなら、これらの答えが君の突破口となるかもしれない。数年前、地脈の動きとそれに関連する問題について考察した論文を書いた。その写しを手紙とともに送ろう。君の役に立つことを願う。もう大丈夫じゃない。もう一個選択肢くれ。
それじゃあなんだか少しかつての正義のいつも一人で戦ってそれに今そうであれ
衣装チェンジ。いいね。うなじいっすね。
どうしたんだ？
ディルックの旦那、その服に気がなんだか急に
その服？これを見たことがあるのか？
異常の起きた地脈で見たんだ。
うん、そうだ。
聞いてもいいか？
いつも通りよからぬことを企むアビス教団を片付けていただけだ。かつてアビス教団が多方面から攻勢を仕掛けてきたことがあった。あいにく奴らでは僕にかなわなかったが、当時僕たちは高飛びの浜一帯で戦っていてね。その時の状況が異常に活発化した地脈に記録されたんだろう。ここ最近また地脈が乱れている。そのせいで当時の情景が映し出され、君たちはそれを見ることになったんだ。魔物たちを片付けさえすれば、自ら地脈の汚れに触れない限り再び活性化することはない。だが放っておけば必ず騎士団がこの件に介入してくる。彼らのやり方ではきっと地脈を見張るために人を手配するだろう。
騎士団が担当して。
いや、騎士団のメンバーはそのほとんどが遠征に出ている。
そうだね。
動かせる人員がもともと少ないんだ。現状この異変がアビス教団の仕業かどうかは断定できない。だがもし事をせいて人を動かせば、どこかの守りが手薄になり、その隙を撃たれるかもしれない。それに僕は騎士団の人間と交渉したくないんだ。そんなことに時間を費やすくらいなら自分で解決した方がいい。アビスの魔術師を数名捕らえて情報を聞き出し、教団の動向を確認する。そう難しいことじゃない。それから騎士団の方にはこちらに協力するよう人を介して伝えてある。トラブルを片付けるのが騎士団の仕事だ。実際に問題が起きた時には彼らも現場にいるべきだろう。確かに僕と彼らとでは理念が異なる。騎士団の人間と行動するのは好きじゃないが、このくらいであれば互いに手を組むのもやぶさかではない。
なんだか
脅威を排除するにはあらゆる力を最大限まで生かす必要がある。とにかく君たちの協力に感謝する。アデリンから話は聞いた。今回の礼にこれを受け取ってくれ。
ブドウジュース、なんだか見た目が。
これは僕が一番気に入っているブドウジュースだ。果実の中でも最高ランクのものを使用している。ちょうど未開封のものがあったから君たちもぜひ飲んでみてほしい。
ありがとう。
しかし君たちがブドウジュースを好きだとは知らなかった。次からは特別価格の商品を待たずに直接倉庫に行って受け取るといい。支払いは僕につけておいてくれて構わない。
これからだってこのブドウジュースディルックの旦那。
それから今夜時間があったら一緒にディナーでもどうだ。アデリンにもすでに用意を頼んである。ただその前に片付けなければならないことが残っているが。ああ、漠然とただ待つのは僕のやり方じゃない。それにさっきはアビス教団を疑っていると言ったが、 調べた結果、どうやらそうでもないようだ。これが自然現象なら、その後始末をすべきだろう。
おいらたちも。そうそう。いやいや。
お、いい心がけだ。ならば出発しよう。
出発しよう。
今回は
まだ続くん。
味方も少しさんじゃ出発。
あ、手紙読める。
ロマノブさん、ウェン、ヨー、ゴ、おうちで、レメムベア、と、チェック、アット、デイ、リブ都市で。
待って。ニューゴーと、リメンバー。どういうことだ？
これらの手紙に何があったのか他
に読みたい手紙。あ、どれ読んでない？これか。豪快な。リルクへ。ジンからの手紙を読んで本当に驚いた。俺の様子を、ねえ。ちょっと、最初から読もう。飛ばす。
これらの手紙何があったの
最初から読む。俺の予想が正しければ、彼女は君にも手紙を書いたはずだ。彼女は騎士団全員を代表しているからな。クリプスはとてもいいやつだった。俺も彼のことを高く買っていた。彼の身に起きたことを聞いて、本当に心が痛んだよ。実に残念に思う。それから、マリューを退けた件は、君の父上の功績だ。彼がすべてを、なんだこれ。なんちゃらして手に入れた結果を、イロックが奪うなんぞ、この俺が絶対に認めない。それに、他者を、何これ。なんちゃらり、偽りの名声を得ることを、このセピロス騎士団では、断じて許さん。ジンには、イロックを厳重に処分するようにと伝えた。結果が出たら、騎士団がいち早く君に知らせよう。ただ最近、君は気を晴らすための旅に出たと聞いた。はばかり？あれではばかりって読むんだ。連絡を取ることもなかなかできないとか。この手紙が君のもとに届く保証もないだろう。だから今回はここまでにしておく。もし届いていたら、旅の健康と安全を祈っている。何か必要なものがあれば、遠慮せず連絡してくれ。君の鷹がこの手紙を届けてくれることを願っている。俺はあまりペンを取らないからな。今の君にとってこれは冷たい言葉だと思われるかもしれない。だがよく覚えておいてほしい。どんなに大きな困難でも過ぎてゆくのだと。俺たちはモンドで君が帰ってくるのを待っている。復帰する気があるのなら、騎士団はいつでも君を歓迎しよう。もし君がそれを望まないなら、この話は忘れてくれ。団長か？団長ではないのかな。でも知ってる中で男性で騎士団で団長くらいしか知らないんだけど。
花火さん、はかり、やった。
はかりか。修練の筆跡の手紙。ディルク先輩やジンだな。モンドにお帰りなさい。あの事件が一段落してから少し経った。邪魔立てをしていたのがイロックだと判明し、処分もされている。これを聞いて少しでも先輩の心が落ち着くことを願う。それと、また放浪寮から石門にかけてのエリアでアビス教団の動きが活発になっていることを部下たちが気づいた。その上、闇夜の英雄と呼ばれる謎の人物も現れている。だんだね。彼は、夜中に よくモンド城の周りに出没するのだが、その目的は未だ明らかになっていない。くれぐれも気をつけてほしい。もし妙な状況を目撃したら、騎士団に連絡を。ディルク先輩の力になろう。騎士団に所属していようといまいと、先輩の騎士団への貢献は強い信念を持つすべての騎士の心に永遠に刻まれている。どうかお体には気をつけて。完全に陣だ。
これらの手紙何があったの？
で、今回届いたのは闇夜の英雄よ。騎士団はすでにモンドの各地で警戒を強めている。目立った動きはしていないため、アビス教団にも気づかれていないはずだ。俺はドラゴンスパインの周辺を偵察している。ここの魔物どもはそれぞれ散らばっていて、アビス教団に集められてはいないようだ。モンドの南側にも敵が活動した痕跡はない。もし他のエリアにも魔物がいなければ、今回の地脈の異常はアビス教団と関係がないということだろう。ガイアか？違うかな？何これ？
あれ、ここにもどの手紙から読むか選んでくれ。
何これも1、2、3とあんの？華麗な筆跡の手紙その1。D へ。騎士団内部では嵐が吹き荒れている。ファルカの腹心がイロックとその仲間を徹底的に調査する準備を始めた。
なんだかすごく重要な内容な気もするし、そうでもないかもしれない。
ああ、確かに。イロックは十中八九罪に問われるだろう。お前は俺からの手紙なんて見たくないかもしれないが、俺はただこのことをいち早くお前の耳に届けたいだけなんだ。返信はしなくても構わない。その2、お前が長い旅に出ると聞いて、この俺でさえ少し驚いた。ジンは手紙でお前を説得しようとしていたが、やめておけと忠告しておいた。こっちの方がガイアか？ファルカはこのことを知らないようだ。そうでなければ、あの人の性格からして、きっとお前を酒場に誘っていただろう。行きたいのなら早くした方がいいぜ。あまり周りに知られていない方が別れを告げる手間も省ける。干渉に浸ることのないよう、夜間に出発するのが一番いいだろう。気をつけろよ。ガイアだな。ガイアだな。半分悪いニュースだ。イロックはそう簡単に折れそうにない。大団長が調査を命令したことで大打撃を与えたのは確かだが、まだその勢力を根こそぎ潰せたとは言えない。この件は今、ジンが担当している。あいつなら適任だろう。いずれにせよ、イロックは彼女にとって壁となるような存在だからな。お前はただ朗報を待っていればいい。なんかいっぱいあるね。待って、その7なんだが。その4から読ませて。ちょっと、パス。その4どこだ？これか。いや、これガイアからの手紙やったら熱いな。4、最近一部の商人たちがモンド城に戻ってきた。外での経営がうまくいかなかったから、モンドで事業を展開するらしい。俺の観察によると、そこの従業員はエンジェルズシェアに行くことが多い。さらに、郊外の危険な場所にも何度も出没している。ただ中には用心にかけたやつもいてな。そいつが落としたノートの切れ端を拾った。親切な俺はそれをエンジェルズシェアに届けといてやったぜ。あそこに行くのはあいつらがお前と関係があるからだろう。あいつらのノートには 暗号が使われていた。情報提供者か、それとも秘密組織だろうか。とにかく片目だけであのぼやけた文字を読むのは大変だったが、頑張って読んだぜ。この秘密は俺の心の中にしまっておくことにする。中とは書いてなかったな。隠すつもりはなかったんだが、まさかもうバレるとはな。説明していないと、眼帯をつけてはいけないなんてルールはないだろう。右目の傷を隠すためにつけていたっていいんじゃないか。そういえば、待ちに待った朗報が届いたぞ。イロックが対談する日、あいつが荷物を片付けて去っていくのを、酒や茶を飲みながら見届けるのも面白いと思うんだが、お前のことだ。そんなことはしないだろう。だから、俺が喜んで代わりにやっといてやる。まったく、どんな偶然だろうな。お前がモンドに帰ってきてすぐ、街に謎の人物が現れるとは。そいつは闇夜の英雄と呼ばれているらしい。モンド周辺の宝刀団や魔物たちを何度も懲らしめ、アビス教団の拠点にも攻め入ったとか。今のところ、彼の行動はモンドに、利するものだが、騎士団が独立した武装勢力の存在を認めるわけにもいかない。お前ならそいつと気が合いそうだと思うんだが、知り合いになってくれないか？説得してくれたらなおいい。そして騎士団に捕まらないように協力してくれ。してるんだよな。分かってて書いてんな、これ。定例公務により騎士団では関係者から証拠を集めることになった。近頃、騎士団に何件もの目撃報告が寄せられている。闇夜の英雄は、暁ワイナリーの近くによく出没するらしい。大団長は今回の任務に、騎兵招待を任命した。だから俺も3日後にそっちを訪問する予定だ。俺たちが無理やりにでも顔を合わせれば、関係が改善されるとあの人は思っているみたいだな。もちろん、ただの形式的なものだ。俺は余計なことを言うつもりはないし、手順に沿って必要な工程を踏むだけだ。それに、3日も前に知らせたんだ。時間は十分にあるだろう。なんだ、この兄弟、いいな。以前、アビス教団の襲撃を受けたとき、闇夜の英雄は騎士団のために時間を稼いでくれた。ジンにとってそれがみんなを納得させる理由となった。騎士団にもこれ以上闇夜の英雄を重点的にマークすることはないだろう。闇夜の英雄が受ける制限は少なくなるが、状況が良くなるとは限らない。切れ味が鋭いほど折れやすくなるもんだ。単独行動には大きなリスクが伴う。お前もよく知ってるだろう。とはいえ、俺はおすすめしないがな。疲れてきたんだが。暁ワイナリーには何の被害もなかったと聞いた。騎士団の方も数名の軽傷者が出たのみですぐに復帰できるだろう。ただ、店の従業員が一人失踪した。連絡が途絶えた場所はアビス教団の行動経路にかなり近い。そいつを探すため、すでに騎士団は人を回している。アビス教団の奴らは、ますます危険な存在になってきた。多方面から攻め入ってくる可能性があることも頭に入れておいた方がいい。闇夜の英雄も騎士団と協力すればリスクが減るだろう。以上かな？全部読めた？ここ入れるようにしてほしいな。全部読んだね。でよ。 して時間を出していないんだった。やべ、もう9時過ぎてる。絵描かなきゃ。マジで終わらん、カズハ。行こうと言われたがいかんぞ、今日は。
ロマノブさん、リブと。
ライト。あ、旦那がそっちにいるのかな。今日はね、お絵描きメインでやりたいので、こんなに長いと思わなかったんだ、あれは。
律令チョック15やっぱり下がれ
風を知れ。
トンそこだよっや律令15邪魔をするな炎食いの剣
なー、マジ？
ほれよっやさあ食らえそこだトン食らえ律令
風の赴くまま
風の赴くままに。
渚のリンおとなしくしなよっそこだ行くぞ燃えよ食らえ
風の行く先を。
15チョック15しっかり立ってなそこだ食らえやっほれ
風を知れ。
具現化せよ律令有限なる来
有限なる来帝。
15チョック
風のむた。雲の
ボン食らえトンほれ
やったー。2個。もう1個なんだ。なんてこった。もう一回行くか。しょうがない。暇だね。もう50万いった。嘘でしょ。嘘だ。そんなことない。言ってない言ってない。これのせいか。なんてこった。これも行かなきゃか。あれなかったっけ？じゃはないのか。あるよな。頑張れ、あやか。頑張らない。頑張れ、あやか。頑張らない。頑張れ、あやか。ダメだ。1個だけか。
火さん、いつの間にか消費しとるもら。
謎。そんなに消費してないでしょ。あ、はーい。20までいけばだいぶダメージ出るんじゃない？そんなことないかな。どうしようかな。これでいくか。
新しい情報でも聞きに行きましょう。
いや、八重様だな。
何時か。
平蔵くんの火力試しに。1時間半でどこまでかけるかな。全然かけない気がする。
律令チョック。
あ、でも2000とか出るんだ。お、4万出た。いいね。
律令チョック。かかれ。
やーん。
風の赴くままに。糸よ、工作せよ。15チョック。15。
うっそー。はいはいはいはいご了承。どこ？
捕まえた。チョック。15。律令。言い逃れはさせない。風の赴くままに。もみちを散らまく惜しみ。
はい、ご了承終了。いらん。これでどこ行った？ああ、
上級の資格証はそう簡単に手に入らないものだ。才能と実務経験、どちらも欠けてはならない。
いいね。
花火さん、雷の名言1本引くのに230連と天井の連発でリアルモラが言った。
リアルモラが言ったリアルモラ痛いんすよね、結構。これをどうにかしなきゃだな、問題は。115しかない。低いな。武器もね、変えたいね。熟知これなんだっけ？違ったな。熟知。HP はないよね。ああ、だからやんのか。でもだから微妙な気するんだよな。どうなんだろ じゃあ別物差し欲しいっすね。
花火さん、酩酊値があってまだ助かった。
熟知21にしかならん。攻撃力いらないもんな。オッケー。よし、お絵かきやるか。気候も買わなきゃな。マルチができなくなってる。なんで？これのせい？運んであげなきゃな。そういえば忘れてたごめんて。
いざ。
はい。ごめんな、待たせて。すまなかったよ。ちょいとお待ち。ここでいいのか。飲み物取ってきていいですか？ちょっとすぐ戻ります。
花火さん、博士が待っとる。わら。
雨降る風の中、ふるさとを思う。拙者と故郷のつながりはもうこの刀のみでござる。
ダメ。この情報はネタにならないわ。
これほど美しき景色を見ればおのずと旅がしたくなるものであろう。
ダメ。この情報はネタにならないわ。
すいません、戻りました。 ころで出てこないんだわ。どうしよう。
この情報はネタにならないわ。
なんでなんだ。なんで。
雨降る風の中、ふるさとを思う。
この情報はネタにならないわ。
拙者と故郷のつながりはもうこの刀のみでござる。
どうしよう。出せないんだけど。画面を。なんでなん。
ダメ。この情報はネタにならないわ。
どうして。
手元に葉があるのなら拙者が草笛で一曲奏でよ
しょうがない。ちょっと。できれば iPad の方で書きたかったんだけどな。保存はしてあるから開く。今すぐ同期。
雨降る風の中、ふるさとを思う。拙者と故郷のつながりはもうこの刀のみでござる。
よし。とりあえず。
ダメ。この情報はネタにならないわ。
久しぶりに触るな。リカタブ。できるかな。
手元に葉があるのなら拙者が草笛で一曲奏でよ
よし。じゃあ iPad は横に置いておいて。板タブのペンはどこだ。
ダメ。この情報はネタにならないわ。
せっかくではできなかったからペンどっかにやっちゃったな。向こうに置いてきちゃったっけ。ありましたー。
これほど美しき景色を見ればおのずと旅がしたくなるものであろう。
ダメ。この情報はネタにならないわ。
言語。じゃあキャラクターボイス。掴んで、書籍じゃない。旅行日誌。どうしようかな。稲妻にするか。いや。せっかくだ。いや。 カズハを描くならカズハだな。
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma. So many things have happened since then. Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey. So, where should we go today? Huh? What's up?
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all? Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them. No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedehara Kazuha? He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision. That's none of your business. Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize. Seems like a real nutcase. Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha. Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able to beat him. Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go find Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back. Oh? What kind of hunch? A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
そうなんですよ。
Yeah, maybe a little.
楓カズハ。
But then again, most people look pretty much the same.
まさか楓じゃないんだって。
Doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger. Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment. Let's look for him there.
I heard that that guy who took on the Muso no Hitotachi is actually working as a sailor
無
with
双
the
の
Crux
人
fleet.
たち。
Wasn't he from Watatsumi Island's army? He still hasn't arrived?
よし、やっと出せ
Come
た
on,。Kaedehara Kazuha.
楓カズ
Always
ハ。
to see our hero with my own eyes.
I gotta interview him today. I have to.
Hey! Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all. Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha. If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention. Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did.
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi.
無双の人たち。
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
あ、やべ、
Really?
こっちに入れてないか。
When you put it like that, it all makes sense.
やべ
In。that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved. He was called away
ペンを
earlier
入れ
by
てない
some
な。
people from the Tenryo Commission. They
まあいい
said
か。
they had something important to discuss with him. I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable. Thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryo Commission.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Oh? It's you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation. We invited Mr. Kaedehara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the shogunate. Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years. the Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed? In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the almighty shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya.
いや、お絵描き
Both
レ
the
ベルなんですよ。
Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just.
プロの塗り方ができればいいんだけど
Kaidahara
な。
has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma. The almighty shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the almighty shogun and the shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice. With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end. You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the almighty shogun's blessing and full support of the shogunate.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode. Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha in town.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated.
たち
They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaidahara really parried the shogun's strike. Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaidahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way. But perhaps if the shogunate is willing to publicly support me,
でも私は昔そう思ってましたね。
will go over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of
当時の
us.
自分よく始めたなって思いますよ。美術嫌いだったく
Please
せ
allow me
に。
some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me? No, this puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaidahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms. Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Serious nutcase.
He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Please stay safe.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
The detective agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to
あっ
say.
た。水筆じゃなくて、これだ。よう使うやつ。透明水彩。あ、終わっちゃったのか。はい。
Hey there, we'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him. To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of mora?
Yes, Mora.
Oh, wait.
Wait,
Even at
wait.
that price, you probably still shouldn't.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaedehara. But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and
稲妻に移動しとけばよかったって今思った。BGM がモンド。
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere. Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now. I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted. It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me. For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you. Oh, actually, there was one strange
この
incident over
声
the
が
last few days.
サンゴ
Doesn't
の
involve an attack, though.
探偵事務所のと
Let
こ
me
ろ
tell
の
you about it just in
リュウ
case.
ジ君でしたっけ？彼ですね。
During times like this, the
多
more
分。
information we have, the better.
で、今喋ってたのが
Alright
カズハ。
then. Recently, two people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Amenoma.
あ、メノマ。
There's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy. Two grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some
リュウジはリュウ
inquiries
ジ
at
なんだやっ
Amenoma
ぱ。
Smithy.
Sounds good.
Sounds
All
good.
the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Ah, if it isn't Kaede Harakazuha.
カイデハダ
What
カ
brings
ズ
you here
ハ。
today?
今のがアメノマ流の
Yes, the Kaedahara and
ところ
Amenoma
にい
clans were
る
both members of the
なんだっ
Raiden
け、
Goka.
はじめさんはじめさんじゃないっ
Historically,
け。
there have always been deep
おじい
links
ちゃんの方。
between the two clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects. Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma. The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty shogun, and over time further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So
花火さん、お、なるほど、情景が浮かびました。
It is a
あ、や
great
ばいやばい。
pity indeed. In the old
リ
days,
ュウビ
we
リュウ
each
デイ
had
ズ
our
イ
specialties. And just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other. As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding
Sos.
patience and
高いの
determination
が
of
パイモ
water
ン。
as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in
practice
and day out.
and day
Until
out.
both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedahara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
That's right.
一心流
Ishin
ね。
art strives for complete harmony
一
between
心流と
blade
かの
and mind from the
流っ
moment
て
that
さ、ア
forging
ートって言
begins.
うんだ。
For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its
アー
maker's
トになっちゃうん
thoughts
だ
and
ね。
feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedahara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew.
My nephew.
I reported the case to the Tenryo Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far.
He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it. But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift. I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back. Yes, strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality. He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Don't worry, you have our word.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Yes, it sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now.
奥さんの声こんな声なんだ。
Missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again. I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them. Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens. On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Whoa!
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell. His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family? Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament. And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand. Ame no Mayuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period. But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Ame no Mayuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned. Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I just want him to come home.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance. The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and, nope, never mind.
Nope, never mind.
Needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
That is the most likely conclusion based on everything we know. What started as a disagreement over the price escalated and ultimately turned into a tragedy. However, in this case, only one of the parties would have started the fire. That would make the other party innocent, and they would have no reason to hide themselves from the public. If this is indeed what happened, and the innocent man hasn't come forward yet, then it suggests they may have already lost their life. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict. Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there? Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
Darn! We thought we could one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far. If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence. Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear. As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami. Indeed, but this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation. We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Huh! So it's an underground warehouse.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely. Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time. From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters. But most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions. Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
頑張らねば。
I'll open the door and take a look inside.
Okay,
If we don't
inside.
open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
That was too scary!
It's scary.
I'm so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy source left this place.
Tatarigami
Two
energy.
ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them. Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you too will perceive its ominous presence in the wind. From this point, the trail appears to split into two.
あ、模様を先に
The
描かな
main
きゃか。
source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here and seems to be dissipating slowly. Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls! They're acting really strangely.
Something seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look. It's...
Ugh! Look at this red stuff! What is it?
What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look. According to this letter, a conflict arose because Ame no Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato. Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here. Yes, right now we need to uncover some more important truths. If Ame no Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right! So let's get moving!
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait! You figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger. He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time. Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Kaedehara Kazuha.
Kaedehara Kazuha. It's you.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before! What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame no Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa, whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. the blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather, as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya's body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me. He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. That gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home. I seek but one thing: to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
Ah, so Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission. When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful!
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun. Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi. There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me! Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
Your bluff's fooling no one! You've lost!
Lost? I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man. He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will. The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure. By any means necessary and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you? On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface. In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma, if you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped. After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak, to the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth. But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life. Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing. I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality. It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path. I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet. The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor. The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me. We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Take me in your hand.
Kazuha?
Kazuha.
I'm okay.
I'm okay. You okay?
I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected. I will. Thank you.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights. If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Wait a minute! Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about Amenoma Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently. Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey. Okay, fine. Just be careful.
How are
you feeling? You okay?
あ、やべ。Sorry.
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use. Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm. Let's keep going.
Whoa! Something's up with the blade!
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amanome Yuya?
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily. He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk!
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun. Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged, but the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy. I've finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
There they are! Take them down!
Check up now.
Where do they keep coming from? Yup, we can help this time.
Don't worry, I'll use my own blade. It's just more of the same.
You fought way better with your own sword.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
実は適当に選んだやつなんだみたいな。
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It's an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach. The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his wish? I said to him, do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy. How could I go back on my word?
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
Where are you going, Kazuha?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things. When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow, that was the blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods. All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith, that they were still worthy of being trusted.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were warped by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya. But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Ame no Mayuya as promised. My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey, the next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Ame no Mayuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you. He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryo Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention?
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash. Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that blade hasn't told us everything. Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him. Are you ready?
Ready?
Okay.
Okay.
All right then.
All right then.
Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art, Ame no Mayuya.
Honored to cross blades with you.
It is my honor also. Thank you for the experience. Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance. His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late for all of that.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedahara Kazuha. I beseech you, please understand this.
Understand this.
Yes. I too trust Mr. Kaedahara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
Ah, it's Yuya! You have
It's
returned!
Yuya.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Ishin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes, badly wounded, but he will live. And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order. His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
Kagotsurube Ishin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart. Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them. I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me, just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt Decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
Ah, you've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amanoma Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please take a look at this blade.
What's this?
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path. Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not suit me.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Very well, I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now. As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
終わりましたね。どうしよっかな。終わろうかな。ちょっとカズハの塗りまで終わらせたかったけど、これは時間かかってしまいそうなんで、やっぱり結構かかりそうね。なんで、終わるか終わって、ちょっと頑張る、裏で。とりあえず裏で頑張ってみて、明日は、そうだ、明日は多分配信できないです。夜遅くなると予想されるので、できそうだったらやりますね。やるときは Twitter でつぶやきます。よーし。じゃあこんなところで終わりましょうかね。ではでは、皆さんありがとうございました。とりあえずここまで進みましたね。肌塗って、この模様をちょっと描いて終わったくらいか。頑張ります。終わらない気がするな、4日までは。4日早く帰ってこれないだろうしな。無理だな。諦めるか。とても諦めたい気持ち。でもせっかくここまで書いたから、イラコンに応募したい気持ちもある。頑張りますよ。できる限り。頑張ってみる。では、皆さんお疲れ様です。明日は配信できたらします。では、お疲れ様でした。おやすみなさい。